Yeah, me too. I saw that too. Doesn't care. Hi, you're Kelly, right? I'm gonna have a sleep. Oh, where are you?
Are we ready? Good morning, everybody. So we'll take a roll call of who's here.
Born here.
Good here.
Gamelki here,
Jones here.
Mijares here.
and John Hugh is not here. And I have not heard from him. Maybe he's just running late. Sure. Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please, Jerry?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda that anybody has? Hearing none. Prior meeting minutes, Al, you approved you read the minutes?
Almost. I've got one very minor, it's a teensy weensy bit of a adjustment to it. On page 2, I believe it is, paragraph B, entitled Resolution Number 2026-04. The last line, we've got an extra word in there. It should read, motion to approve by Al Born, seconded by George Jones, period. That
All right,
second needs to be deleted.
I see that.
Other than that, they're perfect. Thank you. And I would move them to approve them as amended.
Second.
Take a vote on this.
Born, yes.
Good, yes.
Gamelki, yes.
Jones, yes.
Mijares, yes.
Thank you, everybody. Public comment only on matters that are on the agenda. Does anybody have any comments on what's on the agenda? Is Josh online, by the way? Okay. Good morning, Josh. We're at General Business 6, and perhaps you can lead us on this one.
Good morning, board. Can you hear me?
No. Barely.
Barely.
What is that psychedelic ribbon?
Is the speaker volume there? I don't have anything to control here on volume.
Can you can hear him back there, Anita? Yeah, we can't hardly hear him up here at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but last time we could hear him a bit more than this. We're working on it, Josh.
No worries. Just let me know whenever y'all are ready for me to go forward.
Okay.
How soon's not?
Because you're the, oh, because I can't approve my own microgrants. And you're the vice chairs.
Yeah, so. I was trying to put. Change anything? That's what I always do, so. Josh.
Josh, she says try it again.
Okay. Is this any better? Still
Is
not.
that all we get? We think this might be all that we get.
All right. I mean, I could yell.
No, there you go. That's better.
Okay, so I'll just yell. I mean, to you, it doesn't sound like I'm yelling, so that's okay.
It does sound, yeah, I hear you.
All right. Okay, board. So for general business item 6A, as we know, unfortunately, Director Eric Cabrera has left us and we no longer have a treasurer in the treasurer position. So there's a question that's being presented to the board. It's whether or not the board wants to keep an officer position of treasurer and therefore go through the process of electing a new treasurer or officer, or if the board would like to move forward with amending its bylaws to remove the position of treasurer, which it's allowed to do underneath state law and underneath the ordinance of the city that adopted the board, the DDA. I've provided you an agenda item summary or report that basically just explains the reasoning behind the amending of the bylaws. And it's mainly because right now the bylaws require the treasurer to approve and sign any kind of voucher for payment. And as you see right now, if you don't have someone in the treasurer position, it basically freezes the DDA's ability to conduct business, which is different than, say, the chair. The chair is also supposed to co-sign vouchers, but the bylaws allow the vice chair to act in the place of the chair if the chair is not there or the position's absent. So what we've done is basically created new bylaws that would remove the position of officer. It keeps the other officer positions, the chair, the vice chair, and the secretary. And it still requires all vouchers to be signed, co-signed by at least 2 officers after approval by the board. So it's the same process. It's just instead of making one of the officers have to be the treasurer, it allows it to be the chair and a vice chair, or the chair and the secretary. Also, your old bylaws basically set up a situation where the treasurer was to be keeping the accounting and books for the DDA, but it allowed the DDA to assign that authority to the finance director at the city or another employee at the city who had financial experience. The status quo and what's been occurring is basically Aaron has been handling the actual accounting. So the bylaws have also been amended just to recognize that. So the question really is today, one of three options. One is you can amend the bylaws to remove the officer position of treasurer. The second is you could do a motion and a resolution basically giving the power and authority of treasurer under your current bylaws to the city's finance director or another city employee such as the city manager. Or three, you can go forward and keep the bylaws as they are, and you would move forward with electing a new treasurer at this point in time through a nomination and election process. Keeping in mind, it'd really kind of be a treasurer interim because next month is your officer elections. So at this time, I'm open to any questions you have, or y'all can move to a motion.
So basically, it just kind of streamlines it. The city's already doing it and looking at it and approving it. And then, so I think that's what we're looking at, right? It's just trying to streamline it, Josh?
Yeah, to modernize it and to recognize what process you're already following.
Does anybody have any input on that or any ideas about it?
Well, I just a discussion. The overlapping with DDA and city, are you comfortable with that? I mean, it's kind of set up to be a different entity. It's kind of like with Charter 917, that they're not supposed to be offering incentives and stuff like that. Well, there's a point. Do we want to overlap with the city that much? I'm not saying that we shouldn't, I'm just discussion. Is that wise?
Director Good, just to clarify, nothing changes from the financial accountability and system that the DDA has in place right now. Again, the way that your bylaws are set up, you have 4 officers. There's a chair, a vice chair, a treasurer, and a secretary. The treasurer's duties are to maintain basically the accounting for the DDA and to review vouchers for payment and to sign those vouchers. That first responsibility, the financials and accounting, is already being handled by the city. Eric did not do that, and neither has a recent, prior treasurer. The city puts together your financials at the end of the year. They manage your accounts. So that isn't changing. It's already happening. The obligation of 2 officers of the DDA to sign a voucher is still going to be occurring. It's just we're not restricting it to the treasurer having to sign it. So there's not really any authority that's being ceded to the city or being mixed with the city.
Sounds good. I just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. And we do. I'm confused. You say we don't, we serve under the city and under the council. And so they are not over us, but in a sense they are. We are under that umbrella. Am I correct in that? Is that right? So it's not that we're subservient or anything. It's not we're equal, but we are under the city and we are under the city council.
Yeah, but well, the city is not supposed to be determining
Correct.
how
And they're,
things.
and they're not.
And I just want to make sure that,
But all the
Okay.
money's come through this, all the money's come through. They see it all before we see it. It's all approved at a higher, I won't say a higher level, but it's all approved up here before we see it.
sure.
That's all I'm saying. So they have eyes on it before we do.
Yep.
Or with us, I should say. It's not a subservient thing. It's one big team. That's how I see it.
It's just, okay.
The city just reviews the documents before they come before you. You all still have the ultimate approval authority for the invoices and then to sign the vouchers for payment. The city just processes them. All that we're looking for here is to have it changed so that the treasurer doesn't have to be the one to sign.
Yep.
And Aaron,
Understand.
are you okay with this? If we move this way, are you okay with it?
We have had this situation in the past before. We've had the vice president or the treasurer resign, and so two members are just required to sign as long as the chair and one other. So for me, I see no process change here.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions or comments?
No, I think, I think Aaron, for the clarity, it doesn't change any authority we have over, disbursements or any of those issues. And I think that's the main point for them.
Do you have anything, George?
Yeah, just I think the flexibility is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So, yep, yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, thank you. So do we need to then, how do we go about wording this?
Yes, Chair, you would do a motion to approve resolution 2026-05, which is in your packet.
Born will so move.
Mihatis, second.
All right, let's take a vote.
Start out.
Oh, yeah. Born, yes.
Good, yes.
Gamelke, yes.
Jones, yes.
Mihatis, yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, board.
Thank you. Aaron, are you in charge of this, or who's in charge of item B?
Yes,
Stuff.
Anita's gonna pull this up. All right, so we're talking about Bergstrom Park again. And I just wanted to remind everyone of the master plan that we did and the direction that we're looking to go as a city here with reimagining Bergstrom Park. So before you today, we are looking at the engineering cost to start this project, to have the engineering done for the road construction and also the parking lot. And I'm gonna let Kip talk a little bit, but Anita, can you scroll through the presentation here for me? Just a little bit down. Here we go. Okay, one more.
Yeah.
Well, this is, okay, keep going until we get to there. Here we go. Yes, this is what we're looking for. So just to remind the public, what we're looking to do is move the park from its current position and move it more west. And then we're going to move all of the parking to the west side of the where we currently have Bergstrom Park sitting. And then it's also going to be to the south. So we're going to be adding a new connection at Saddle Club, correct? Yep. And then also we're looking to eventually connect it to West Street as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're adding 71 parking spots. We're reimagining the park there, adding green space, all of that. But for this phase, what we're looking to do is do the engineering for the road connections in the parking lot. All right, Anita, will you bring up the cost estimate for us? And I'm going to turn over to Kip.
Can I ask one question since you're on that? What happens to that circle, the top, what they call is it the Tava circle, or what is it going on the other side of that, the park, or?
Can you bring it back up, Anita? We're going to have to go down to I think it's slide 12.
We have the fancy ribbon
Can
again.
we freeze? Sorry, I'm not used to not being able to present on my computer. It's really
There we
throwing
go.
me off a little.
That-
Okay, here it is. Yeah. Okay, so you can see on the diagram here. Can we, okay, it's the top right here where we have the water lookout. It's repositioning the current circle into this on the top right-hand side of the screen there.
So it is going away.
It's being changed, yeah.
Okay, well, that's
Still
fair.
keeping the design element, but it's changing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's moving or
No.
just changing?
changing.
it's changing.
Okay, but it's staying in the same position it's at.
I think
That's left to the engineers to figure that piece out.
just currently, I know a portion of that is within the projected right of way
Yes.
of that road, so it'll probably have to move somewhat.
Again, these are renderings. When we have the engineering done, we'll actually have a better idea of what it will look like.
And Aaron, are you proposing phase development? And you kind of referred to that, or is it all one go?
It's definitely gonna be phased.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we can accomplish this.
Can you explain just generalities, what you're thinking of phasing wise?
Well, we're gonna look to do the engineering for the road construction and the parking lot first, with the design for where the park will be. But we'll probably construct the road and the parking lot before we do the park.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I was looking for that physical phasing. So
Yes.
with you, it's more the parking and the road that'll be initial phase, which are the harder parts actually, and then
Correct.
the fun stuff comes after.
Yeah.
So for those that,
We'll want more community engagement, I think, around the park itself. So that's why we'll take a little bit more time with that, but we'd like to get that parking lot put in as soon as possible.
so what is it that you are here for asking us so that people would
Yes.
know?
All right, I'm gonna turn this over to Kip and Anita, if you can bring up the cost estimate. Here we go.
Good morning. Kind of a little bit more of those details like Aaron spoke. So just the parking lot and the road. So the overall civil for the site itself to include basically your survey for the topo work, any subsurface utility work that need to be done, grading, make sure everything flows right. You can see here geotechnical report, a small traffic study portion. And then there's some other things that are still questionable as far as utility connections, for example, the water line connection from basically Center Street and Saddle Club, or I should say the new Pine Street. What's the name of that?
It's fine. So-
Is it still Pine?
Yeah.
Okay. Connecting over to west depends on what's being built on the south side of Saddle Club, if that water line's actually needed. There was sewer service already stubbed out. So there's a couple of those little things, a fire flow analysis if we had to put in that water line as well, but that's not included in these numbers, just other things that could potentially come up. But just going over that, drainage, grading, miscellaneous utilities, the survey for the topo, any private utility locations if those exist, legal exhibits, if we have to replat this area, things like that are included in this number. And I think it's at the bottom, it's in green right there at 147,200. So those all are included in this. And then, like I mentioned, just a couple of those random things that potentially could go in later, as we move through the design of the redevelopment. And I don't get into parks, so.
Do you anticipate any impact on 24?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So the connection at West Street is probably one of the bigger X factors with this. Depending on that traffic circulation, that study stuff that's going on. The intersection of West and Highway 24 will be significant. And then also if there's any realignment with the entrance across from Pine, because right now, if you were to come out of the existing entrance, it's offset. Pine is further to the east, so
Yeah.
there might be some realignment with that as well.
And I would estimate that this fee structure doesn't include any of those CDOT level
Yeah,
improvements.
It does not.
Okay.
It's just the site itself and connection from Saddle Club to West Street.
Yeah, good point.
It'll be opening up a lot more as we go through. So
And I would just state, I mean, I don't know whatever firms you're selecting or whatever, how you guys are doing this, but I think we have a lot of information as far as, you know, boundary, topo, everything existing for the site that might shave a little off.
Oh. That'd be great, yeah. What other questions can I answer? Or try to?
I'm sure there's some questions.
So you're asking 100 and solely from the DDA?
Correct. For this portion, yes. Yeah, so we'd be looking to bring you all back a supplemental for your approval for this amount so that we can go ahead and bid this out.
What's the amount
It's
exactly?
147, 200. So we'd probably come with 150 or 165, depending on whatever. You normally put a 10% escalator in there. So probably about 165 we'd be looking for.
Is the throughout this whole project, just so I can get some clarity, are you looking for the DDA to fund all of this? Is the city gonna put in any funds towards it? Are there other monies that are going in, or is it just DDA money?
So the city put in the initial 695 to purchase the properties. So we would look for the DDA to probably at least match that. And then in the meantime, we're going to be looking for grants as we move through this process. So we'll hopefully have some other matching funds in addition to the DDA. And then the city will put in money as needed in whatever shortfall we have. Because we do have other priorities with the DDA, as we all know, for walkability and mobility and all of that. So we are conscious of that as well.
Okay, so you're thinking the overall ask, not today, obviously, today the ask is 165, to consider 165 or thereabouts.
Yes.
But you're saying the overall ask between now and 2 years, 3 years will be 700,000, you're guessing?
My original thought was that we'd probably look for the DDA to put in something of about 500,000 for the next maybe 3 years. So like about 1.5 million was my original thought on this. But again, it would be dependent upon the other projects that come up.
Okay.
Am I the only one that am surprised by this? I didn't realize DDA was such a big, how much have we paid already? 25 grand or something?
For what?
Towards design.
It was 25,000, yes.
And I'm just kind of surprised that I didn't see it coming.
You know, I think this project is a benefit to downtown and willing to participate at some level. But I think we have to be cautious of, you know, the original effort of the DDA was to, you know, promote private development in growth in investment. And this qualifies as investment at some level, but I think it's a caution to be, you know, funding this whole park from the DDA.
And again, the city has already put 695,000 into this, in addition to the 25,000 match. So we're at almost $720,000 from the city on this.
It does benefit, I mean, I can see the benefit of it. I'm not for or against, I'm just trying to look at the pros and the cons. There is definitely a benefit to the downtown area that I think a lot of us can agree to. So I'm not closed down to the idea, but I'd like to open up to you guys to discuss. Al, do you have any thoughts on it?
It's still, you know, circulating in here to try to figure out how this thing should go. Yes, I think we can defend it very well within the mission of the DDA. But I also want to make sure that the numbers for the survivability of the DDA on other projects is there.
Mhm.
And I don't have that information today. Would it beautify Main Street? And yes, it would certainly, you know, dress that up. And that's a good thing. So, yes, I guess I'm like you, John, that I'm not against it, but I'm still wanting to get some more information to convince me that, yes, we need to spend this amount of money from DDA funds if we have them available, yeah.
We do have the funds available.
Okay.
We do have the funds available.
Yeah. And,
if we're sunsetting DDA, which that is the goal
yeah,
now, that is the goal now, whether that changes it between now and when it does sunset, I have no
Yeah.
idea, or if any of us will still be here. But the idea is to give the money back to the community so that we're not giving it back to the city and then they have to give it back to the taxpayers.
Yeah.
We're trying to use it to benefit the city.
how are we doing on our indebtedness?
It's interesting. I just asked about that the other day and we're looking into paying off the only debt that we have. I'm inquiring about that.
Good.
So, because it's costing a substantial amount every year just in interest when we have the money that we could pay it. So,
And that would certainly be a requirement for me, that we want to make sure that we're debt free before we start doing something like this, yeah. And yes, I agree that to put the money back into the community one way or another is our goal.
yes.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Don't be doing that. Yeah, I don't know. The reason for reimagining it, can we go over that a little bit? Was it because of the development of Woodland Station? And was it always kind of imagined that the DDA would foot the bill for this? Or
I
a
think-
substantial?
We heard overwhelming support for the fact that we needed additional parking on that side of the road. And then we also needed some additional walkability and connectivity. So I know the two major initiatives that you all have spoken about over the last year have been walkability of the downtown and then additional parking and then reimagining of that Bergstrom Park. When we did the master plan, we had, I think it was 950 or so engagements with the community. And so we did hear overwhelmingly that they also supported additional parking on that side of the road, RV parking, being able to have even bus parking over there. So it really changes the way that people can interact with our community as they're driving through. So I think that that is definitely a priority of the DDA. And so we all saw this project as something that you all would want to be a part of, right, and contribute to. So I think that to answer your question, yes, we heard overwhelmingly that people wanted additional parking on that side of the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and there's no argument there. It's just the funding part, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Nobody likes the cost.
Yeah.
We never do.
Yeah.
But I think when I've spoken extensively with Josh and Marcus, the attorneys, about what qualifies as funding purposes of the DDA and does this project qualify, does doing a walkability study and contributing to that. And those do seem to be the biggest items that the DDA could contribute to in the downtown to stimulate growth.
It certainly looks like a project like this would be funded by public funds, no matter how. It's which pot they come out.
Right, yeah, I think that's probably one of the most beneficial points, is that it's coming from the broader city in some way, form, fashion. And I do, I appreciate the southern side of 24, if you will, or that inside the loop, getting some attention. I think it's important that we do that.
It seems to be where we have some open space to expand. If you look at the layout, there's no open space on this side to accomplish all those extra parking spots and to beautify it.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's always been, not always, there seems to have been, that this is the best side of the highway to be on, and it shouldn't really be looked at like that. It should be both sides are just as pleasurable to experience. And the thing with me is I'd like to see somehow to connect, and I know maybe in the engineering, I don't know who we talked to, but somehow to get people from that. Highway 24 is like a barrier. It's like people don't want to necessarily cross it. Somehow to get people from, if we're going to invite all those people over to the other side of the highway, are they just going to stay there and then not come over and shop and look around on the other side? So somehow to make it, I don't know if we want another crosswalk, but maybe something, I don't know, something that is closer to there rather than directing them all the way down to, right now it's on Center Street. It's the one crosswalk, just an idea.
To reflect on this, where in my tenure, that was a propane tank farm.
Yes,
And to get dressed up to something like this is certainly very, very desirable.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a great point.
yeah. Do you have any?
No, I'm like, like I mentioned at the onset, you know, it's, or just recently here, I think this is a great thing for the city to start to put in motion, let's say, because, you know, this, this will get piecemealed, right? It's not, you know, 1.5 million right now. It's, let's see what we can do. Let's see what grants we could get. Let's see how we pull this thing together. But I think working in conjunction with the city, and of course I have, you know, a different motivation there, but, you know, working in conjunction, I think partnering with the city, the DDA, can really do some impactful things. And I do believe, Aaron, if I'm not mistaken, I think once we retire the debt, which is great to hear that we're thinking about doing that sooner, I think the fund balance for the DDA starts to accelerate quite a bit.
It does, because the debt is paid off in 2028 if we didn't do anything additional. And
Yeah.
so after that point, the fund balance does just increase significantly.
Yeah, and so then the motivation would be, you know, for the DDA, because you've talked about retiring it. I agree with that. 2032, 2031-ish, right? We'd have to really start evacuating funds and making sure that we, you know, we're putting it toward the right thing. And you know, honestly, a mini memorial park on the other side of the highway would just be, I think, I love the idea of going from a propane tank farm to, you know, this nice,
Yeah.
you know, attraction, if you will.
Yeah,
Yes, that's certainly a plus for the community.
Yep,
it's kind of a big deal.
it is. It's you don't get an opportunity to do this kind of thing very often.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
master plan received overwhelming support.
It did.
It really is what the community at large is looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to the meetings. You went to the meetings. You saw it.
Mhm.
You liked it.
I like it. I just, the funding part.
No, I get it. It's a huge responsibility. It's a big ask.
And having visible parking on that side of the street, because that was a big thing when we did the master plan, was we heard a lot of feedback of people driving through town. Sometimes they don't realize where to park. They don't realize how to navigate the city. Having this big visible parking lot where people can easily pull into, I think should be a tremendous benefit.
So today, what you need is we can table this until next meeting.
Yes, we bring it back to you as a supplemental at the next meeting. If
Some
that's,
numbers so that we know where we're heading.
yes, and then August, at your August meeting, I'd like to bring forth, because we want to be very intentional with this fund balance as we move forward, I believe, as the board has directed. So we will be having the budget discussion for your budget for next year for the items that you'd like to include in there.
So
At
next,
that time, would we also be able to have a handle on what it would cost to completely dissolve all the debt that's against the DDA?
Oh, absolutely.
So we know ideally there should not be any prepayment penalties on it.
Correct. Yeah, we'll have all that information for you for that August meeting.
Okay,
So you're gonna come back to us. Oh, okay. So, but you'll want an answer at the next meeting for this funding that you're asking for, correct?
For the 165, so that we can start bidding it out and get,
Okay.
it takes time, so we want to get it as fast as possible.
And this might be it would be naive of me to think that 1.5 million is gonna do the whole project. So obviously there's funds coming from someplace else.
Correct. We are hopeful to get some grant funding for this.
So without having the engineering and all that, I mean, realistically, we're looking at like maybe a $4 million project over there. I mean, just would one guess?
Entirely all in, finished park and everything else, yes, probably, especially if we do the connection at West Street and do
Yeah.
other improvements. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're looking at least 4 million.
So that's only a little bit of it.
And I think.
Possibly.
Like, we need to look at it, you know, I think we can commit to helping fund this and do that, but
Not funding the whole thing.
no, not just saying funding the whole thing, just kind of understanding what that funding commitment the city would like to see.
Yeah.
I think knowing that information going in before we start handing out funds is probably part of it. And I know, yeah, I think you're right, it probably is a $4 million project when you talk about West Street. And I commend the city for funding infrastructure that promotes development, because it does help a lot of that area of town. Parking is needed, the connection is needed to the other light and those type of things. So it's a choice. And I know that that connection has been an impediment to previous Saddle Club plans in the past, and somebody's gonna have to bite it off at some point. So it's great that the city's looking at it. I would caution, however, that I think the DDA in the past has had a problem with funding a lot of unrealized studies. And so I just think we should be cautious with that. I don't, being an engineer, I don't think engineering is studies. I think you're actually getting to the meat of it. You've already done the study and we're going to move forward with that. And that's great to see.
Yeah, I don't see it as an unrealized study, considering the last couple of years, all the meetings about Bergstrom Park and the redevelopment.
No,
Yeah.
I think this one is real and moving forward, and I'm glad to see.
Yeah, gotcha.
Bourne would move to table the Bergstrom Park proposal to gather more information and to be ideally more prepared in the July meeting.
Do we have a second? All right, I'll second it.
Yeah. Bourne, yes.
I just want to make a comment for that we've got new members going to be on this board now. Does that give them enough time to get up to speed with what's going on? Because they'll be voting on this as well.
I will.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they.
See, even in the July meeting, it could be tabled again if necessary,
Yeah.
even though we have more information. So we're not committing funds yet.
I think that I would think that if it was presented to us at the next meeting, as it is clearly today, that we could certainly take a vote on it at the next meeting, even if we did have two new members sitting here, which I assume we will, since there's been some applications.
You're comfortable, that's cool. I just want to point that out.
I am comfortable. I am, but I'm only one. I'm only one on the board. But I think there's other people, and I think you even have a comfort level. I understand because we want to see Woodland Park. We want to give Woodland Park a chance to prosper, and this is another way that we can help that for sure. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And I know that you can see that and the rest of us can see that. And right now the ask, and I say this, is still a considerable amount of money. Right now the ask is 165. But knowing that the ask is going to be over the next, was it 3 years? 1.5 mil it's a big commitment, but we do have the resources. And so we need to think about how are we going to spend those resources to better Woodland Park. And it's in our district. It's still in our downtown district. So that's important.
So there is a motion and a second,
Yes.
and
Sorry.
we have one vote.
We have one vote.
Yep. You got
Clarify
one
the
vote. It's
motion
up to you to
on the
vote.
table and
Okay,
vote
good,
next.
yes.
The motion is to table it until the next meeting,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Gamelki, yes.
Jones, yes.
Mijares, yes.
Thank you, Aaron and Kip. Anita, is this you, the micro grant?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
So the update on the micro grant program, which closed officially yesterday at 5 p.m. We had 48 grant applicants. The total was $227,799.78.
78 cents.
Yeah.
We don't round up here.
I think we have about 15 that will be coming to the committee. I think the committee has 3 currently under review, and the other 12 will be coming to you hopefully today. I'm waiting on a few pieces that
Okay.
that needed to come in, but the applications did make it through as
Okay.
far as the deadline.
Anita, what was the number again? The total dollar amount?
Total grants that were received is 48, and then the total amount is $227,799.78.
Okay, thank you.
That includes all approved and potentially denied grants. So
42, did she say?
48.
48. Gosh, that's great.
Yeah.
And is that, didn't we up it to 300? The original amount? we were
Yeah.
looking for?
Yeah. Yep. How did we get so many this time? Is it just from Main Street going out and pushing that? Did you guys find a good response?
I think it was a combination of the social media push by the city, Main Street having boots on the ground, talking to people, and then the businesses and the community knowing about the grant program.
I know that it was on the Chamber's website a few times
Yes,
too. That was a
also
big deal.
Debbie certainly helped as well, push that out. So
Recognize that.
yeah. Yeah, so it was a total community effort
Yeah.
to
Well,
make
good
sure.
job, everybody. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's awesome. Thank you. What's the final report? The Collin Corp. 520 Westmoreland Ave? Who is that? What is?
That's me again, sorry.
Okay.
So we did have one applicant who has completed their project for the grant.
Okay.
And so you do have the final report from the Collin Group, which is the Grit to Greatness Fitness Center that's going in the old AutoZone building.
Okay.
The only comment I do have is on page 5 is their spreadsheet. And as we went through our review, we attached our spreadsheet on page 2. It shows that they did spend a little bit more than their $4,990 ask. But we just wanted to break it down as far as where the purchases were made and which receipts we actually did have. So, I mean, it's still a $4,990 payout, but we just wanted to clarify like where things were purchased and what receipts we did have.
Okay.
So those
And-
two spreadsheets are a little different.
How many have been, do you know how many have been approved and have already started versus how many are still waiting for approval?
There has been, well, essentially an executed grant agreement should have all parties signed before work begins.
Okay.
So I'm trying to make that clear to the applicants that we need all the signatures, their signatures, the DDA signatures and Joshua's signature before they should start. But so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are completely executed grants. I think you have before you 16 grants today, and Jerry has 2 that will need to be signed by the DDA board. And I think all but 1 have Joshua's signature on that, but I got his signature for that one this morning, so. But those will be fully executed. I will send copies to the applicant and let them know that the work can begin. I got one more thing. Kimberly is on the meeting as well, but she said we probably need to talk about approvals on the overage, either in order of submission or new applications. So if there's that discussion, which by my calculation, if we take out some of the ones that either had to resubmit or have been denied, that total is $208,437.78. So there's really only about $8,437 overage.
So we are over the amount that we allotted.
You allotted 200,000. So do we look at who came in? Because they're time stamped, who came in first? Or what would the DDA board like to do for the overage?
I'd like to approve them all personally, but can we do that?
Good morning, board. I'll jump in real quick on this one for y'all. Your program is set up to where it is a first come, first serve, so the timestamps would control. However, like last year, if the DDA board is interested in appropriating additional funds, then there's a process we could follow like we did last year to increase the budget from 200,000 to 210,000. Were y'all able to hear me?
City. right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we heard you. Thank you. And I believe though, even though we did a supplemental last year, but we never, I don't think we actually paid out the
Right.
total, right?
Because
So-
some didn't complete their
Yeah.
projects. Yes.
So there's a, I don't want to call it a risk, but there's a chance that we could increase by the 10,000, do the supplemental, that would have to go to council, I believe. And then see what actually comes in.
Yeah, but at least we would have it there to cover it.
Yeah.
Should they all.
Yeah.
All get their.
Because
projects
48,
complete.
that's a great number.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
So how do we go about that? Can you help us with that, Josh? What does that look like? What does that sound like?
I'm sorry, I wasn't really able to hear exactly what the
We would like to add 10,000 to the 200,000 to give ourselves 210,000 to go towards the micro grants. So we're asking for an additional 10,000.
Thank you, Chair. So at the next meeting, we'll bring forward basically a resolution for you to amend your budget that would then go to City Council for City Council to review and appropriate or supplement appropriations for an additional 10,000 to the $200,000 budget you currently have.
So then should we not approve all of them until we have that money in place to cover it? Or should we just, I don't want to assume, because if we don't have the funds there to cover it, then, and if we said yes to all these, then we're.
I don't think there's anything before you today in the grant agreements or this final report that y'all will still need to do a motion to approve. I don't think there's anything today that would impact your current budget.
Okay,
Or excuse me, I guess it would impact your current budget, but it's not anything that's going to go over the 200,000.
okay.
So Josh, they're okay to approve all of the applications then?
From my understanding, they're only at 1826 applications out of 48. So even if they approved all of those, they're all at $5,000 max. I mean, they're just not going to go over their $200,000 with the current agreements that are before them. We would probably have to hold off on the last two applications. But Anita and I can discuss that more on the process on getting these applications and grant agreements in front of the board for signing.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense to me. The likelihood of them actually going over the 200 is probably slim, and we can adjust the supplemental once we actually get to needing to pay out the money. So I think we're
Oh,
okay
that's
then.
fair. Yeah. Right.
And I'm sorry if I
But we
missed it,
don't
but
have-
was there a motion at all when it comes to approving the final report for the calling group?
Not yet.
There
Okay,
has been, no. But Aaron, I just wanted to clarify. So what you were saying is we actually can let these applications, the applicants, we can approve them, let them go do their stuff, and then wait until we actually get to final payout to
We-
do the supplemental. Yeah.
We could, because you'll have plenty of time before the final
Right.
reports are in to put that supplemental in.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah. So good stuff. It's all good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess I need to make a motion to approve the final report for the Collin Corporation, 520 West Midland Avenue.
Born will second.
Take a
So
vote.
we'll,
Born, yes.
okay.
Good, yes.
Gamelki, yes,
Jones, yes.
Mihatis, yes.
it's approved.
Did we? Yeah, it's good. No, we're good.
Any public comment on matters not on the agenda? Small crowd today. Any has anything? Board chair report. So I have something kind of, it's interesting to me. I hope it's exciting for everybody else. Tyler from the fire department, the fire chief, called me. And we've been texting, and they got their new ladder truck from the funds that we said that they could use. And I do believe they got it in the state of Colorado, Aurora, if I'm thinking correctly. And it's a fire truck that's very relevant. It's new to them. I can't remember the exact year, but I want to say it's 2015, I think, possibly. It is the fire truck that they need for now to cover the higher structures that we have in our city. And the parts are relevant. There's enough parts around for this truck that they've been able to source the parts to get the truck up and running and working, and they're actually going to bring it here. They're on their way now, and they're going to show it to us today. They're going to bring the fire truck outside, so the ladder truck. So that's pretty good. Huh?
Touch a truck.
Touch a truck. Yeah. I just thought it would be good for the DDA to see, because
Yeah.
I don't remember how many years ago it was that maybe 3 years, maybe or so, that we approved that 150. And they spent a lot less than that. There's some other things that they're going to be using the funds for. And one of it is they need to do a more shallow driveway approach to get their truck in, because right now it bottoms out the back of the truck when they're pushing it in. And when they're not pushing it and driving it in, but it's functioning. And so he's going to bring it for show and tell this morning. So that's kind of exciting. I'm pretty happy about that.
Wow.
We did get our flowers. Everybody saw that. We'll work with them. They're not really the flowers I was hoping for. I was hoping for a little bit more. Hopefully next year, we're going to get with them earlier this year, and we're going to explain to them exactly what we want, and we'll try it again. I mean, we've got flowers. The city is going to be planting on the 15th, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
And we will be closing City Hall that day, and all of staff will be out planting all over the city. So we would encourage anybody else who would like to join us to please come.
I'd like to come to that. It'd be fun.
Oh,
Yeah, so anyway, that's really all I have. I really appreciate all the hard work for the micro grants. And I do believe we have 3, possibly 4 applicants for the 2 open positions on the DDA board. And David Maharis's position is one of them. And I know that he has reapplied. And then this is David Hapgood that's sitting here in the front, and he is the owner of Timbers and Rust, the new business that's opening up and I've asked him to come in and sit in here, and I do believe that he has applied for the position as well. Kelly Case you've applied as well, right? And I think we have one more who I'm not sure who that is. I heard that might have applied. So
There's 3 open positions.
3 open, excuse me, yeah.
But there will be. Yeah.
That's all that I have. Josh, do you have anything, Josh?
Thank you, Chair. Just a reminder that next month will be the officer elections. So we will be doing the election process for chair, vice chair, and secretary.
And
And
so,
that's it for me.
thank you, Josh. So the treasurer report falls on me today, which is fine. So we have a bill for our lawyer for our attorney fees for $2,262. And then the Collin Corporation, which is the reimbursement for which we approved earlier for $4,990. And we're just sticking with that, right? We're not giving them the extra $10, Anita? Is that correct, even though they spent that?
Chair,
Yes,
sorry, I need to make a correction. So the DDA TIF reimbursement check that you have in front of you, that's for M&M Estate LLC. That's for an already existing TIF agreement. That's not related to your grant funding.
okay.
To AJ's.
AJ.
Yeah, AJ's Pizza.
Okay. Right, that's right, I see that. That's a different thing from the Collin one that I
It
just
is.
read.
Yeah.
Yes, Chair.
Yes, and then we have the reimbursement for the amount of $5,973.81. And that's all that I have. That's for AJ's
Oh, okay, tip, yeah.
TIF reimbursement.
Okay.
Yep. Board member reports. Does anybody have anything they'd like to talk about?
Board, I think you have to have a
Oh, you
motion.
need to have a
approve
Oh,
the,
motion.
excuse me. Yes,
expenditures.
thank you.
Expend the funds. Board
Can we-
will move to approve and pay the attorney fees at $2,262.
Can we do them all in one vote? Or do we need to?
I
do
was
them
gonna
separate?
separate it then.
Okay.
Yes.
Miharis second.
Bourne, yes.
Good, yes.
Gamelke, yes.
Jones, yes.
Miharis, yes.
Approved.
Motion.
Motion approved. Do we want to then do the same thing for the
TIF reimbursement.
TIF reimbursement, Al?
And that's, the amount is going to be what?
$5,973.81.
Bourne would move to pay that TIF reimbursement to M&M Estate in the amount of $5,972 and, is it 81 cents?
Yes,
Okay,
$73.81.
$73.81.
okay.
Yep.
Get that number right.
Good, will second.
Bourne will vote yes.
Good, yes.
Gamelke, yes.
Jones, yes.
Miharis, yes.
And then finally, for this would be for the micro grant reimbursement, correct? For the Collin Corporation in the amount of $4,990.
Bourne would move to approve and pay to the Collin Corporation, the stated amount.
Good, second.
Bourne, yes.
Good, yes.
Gamelke, yes.
Jones, yes.
Miharis, yes.
Thank you, everybody. Are there any board member reports?
I just have a question.
Sure.
The Voss building, activity going on over there. What's going on?
I don't have an update for this meeting, but I can provide you one at the next one.
It was slated, they were trying to get it demolished, so condemned as. Hopefully it's been staved off then, it looks like, right?
I have no comment.
All that I've seen is they cut down the cedar trees and did a little weed whack on the outside. That's all I saw.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I've seen, so. And I don't have any information on it either. At least not that I'm gonna share.
Dylan.
Do you have anything, George? David, do you have anything?
Bourne moves to adjourn.
Adjourn. Don't forget the fire trucks outside, should be, please. It's a good photo op. Thank you, everybody.